Have you ever just stood in front of a massive work of art and thought, not just how did they make that, but what on earth did they make it from? Well, today we're digging into a story just like that. It's an incredible tale of transformation, where the sheer grandeur of nature meets human vision.
And get this isn't something that was pieced together from different bits of wood. No, this entire enormous sculpture was carved from one single, solitary log. A piece of timber that was once a living, breathing giant of the forest. I mean, the scale is almost impossible to wrap your head around.
So that's the big question, right? How do you possibly go from a colossal tree, a true titan of the natural world, to a refined, breathtaking piece of art? It's a journey that actually spans centuries, and it pushes the limits of engineering and artistry. Let's trace that path together.
To really get this, we have to go back in time. And I mean way back. Because the story of this artwork, it doesn't start in some artist's studio. It starts in a forest, hundreds of years before anyone even dreamed of picking up a carving tool.
600. Just let that number sink in for a second. This tree was 600 years old. This wasn't just a hunk of wood. It was an ancient living thing, a silent witness to so much history.
And to put that into perspective for you, when this tree was just a tiny little seedling, the age of discovery hadn't even kicked off yet. It was already a full-grown mature tree during the American Revolution, and it was still standing tall when humanity took its first steps on the moon. An unbelievable amount of history was literally contained within its rings.
And we're talking about a true monument of nature here. To get a sense of the scale, just try to picture a tree that's wider than most cars are long. A tree that weighed over 50 tons. That's more than 5 adult elephants. This was not just any tree. It was a landmark, a real giant of the old-growth forest.
Okay, so you've got this magnificent, ancient organism. Now for what seems like the impossible part. Having the vision, finding the right tools, and actually pulling off the incredible transformation from a natural wonder into a man-made one.
This quote right here, it really gets to the heart of the whole process. This wasn't about forcing some preconceived shape onto the wood. It was more like a partnership, a conversation between the artist and a 600-year-old piece of history. The whole idea was to listen to the wood and help reveal the form that was kind of already hiding in there.
So the entire creation really unfolded in 4 main phases. First, you had the monumental task of just moving it. Then came the vision and the rough cut. After that, it was all about the delicate art of subtraction, and finally, the big reveal of its final form. I mean, step 1 alone was just a colossal engineering problem. The logistics were staggering. Think about it. Moving a 50-ton log that's wider than a car required not just raw power and specialized cranes, but also incredible, delicate precision so you didn't damage this priceless piece of material. And then, after all those centuries of silence, the forest was filled with the roar of industrial-sized chainsaws. That was step 2. This was the rough cut, where huge, massive sections of wood were hacked away just to start blocking out the basic shape. It was a noisy, powerful, and pretty dramatic start to the artistic journey.
And the sheer scale of the transformation is just mind-boggling. The original trunk weighed over 50 tons. The final sculpture, about 15. That means more than 35 tons, literally the weight of several elephants, was carved away. An absolutely immense amount of material had to be removed to find the sculpture hidden inside.
So the final 2 phases, that's where things moved from brute force to fine art. And this was not a quick job. We're talking about years of painstaking, incredibly detailed carving with much smaller tools. Slowly, carefully, refining the shape, smoothing the surfaces, and bringing out that breathtaking form that was locked inside that massive trunk. And all that work brings us here, to the final result. The tree's life as a natural, living giant might have ended, but now it begins a totally new life, a new legacy, as an immortal story told through wood.
This whole project is the perfect definition of a concept called arboreal legacy. It's this idea that a monumental tree's story doesn't just stop when it falls. Through human hands, its physical form can be transformed into something with new cultural and artistic meaning. It becomes a bridge between the natural world and human craft. So in the end, this monument is so much more than just a cool sculpture. It's a tribute to the ancient forests. It's a testament to what human skill and vision can achieve. And maybe most profoundly, it's a physical bridge connecting the deep, slow time of the natural world to our own lives, right here in the present.
This incredible work of art started its journey 600 years ago. It really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? As we create things today, our art, our buildings, our technology, what stories will they end up telling about us hundreds of years from now?